Millions of people worldwide are deeply involved in gambling, with each country bringing its own unique games and customs to the industry. From the United States to China, Japan to Italy, some nations lead the way in gambling through licensed centers, while others operate underground. In this video, we'll explore which countries top the global gambling scene and uncover some fascinating facts about this industry. Before we begin, please support us by subscribing to our channel. United States. The United States is the world's largest gambler, bringing in a gross loss of $116.9 billion annually. Around 62% of surveyed Americans stated that they had gambled during 2023. Some of the country's most common forms of gambling include lotteries, raffles, casinos, slot machines, bingo, and sports betting. Gambling, particularly sports betting, has increased significantly in the country since 2018, when the Supreme Court overturned a federal law from 1992 that prohibited sports betting in most states. Around 26% of U.S. adults placed bets on the Super Bowl in 2024, totaling around $23.1 billion in wagers. This amount rose by approximately $7 billion compared to the previous year. China. Although gambling is illegal in China, the country surprisingly has the second highest gambling gross loss in the world, representing $62.4 billion annually. While mainland China generally does not allow gambling, they do allow state-run lotteries, known as the welfare lottery and sports lottery, both set up in the late 20th century. Illegal gambling also remains common, including clandestine casinos, unofficial lotteries, and betting card games such as mahjong. In Macau, a special administrative region of China, gambling is legal, with gross gaming revenue amounting to $22.3 billion in 2023. Japan. Although the Japan Criminal Code bans many forms of gambling, the East Asian country continues to be one of the largest gamblers in the world with a total gambling gross loss of $24.1 billion. Similar to China, the Japanese national and local governments occasionally hold lottery events to increase government income and offer entertainment to citizens. Individuals can also bet on public races, including horse racing, powerboat racing, bicycle racing, and asphalt speedway motorcycle racing, which are all closely regulated by government corporations and allowed legally. Japanese laws also allow pachinko, a pinball-like game, due to its cultural significance. Italy. After reducing gambling law restrictions beginning in 2006, Italy has grown into a large gambling country, representing a total gambling gross loss of $19 billion. The country has a gambling culture dating back centuries to the Roman Empire, with Ludus Duodecim Scriptorum, backgammon's predecessor, being commonly played among Roman legionnaires. Traditional gambling activities like baccarat and Fibonacci also originate from Italy. Venice and Milan are two of the country's largest gambling hubs, featuring over 15 casinos. Australia. With a total gross gambling loss of $18.3 billion, Australia is the world's sixth largest gambling country. Around 2 in 5 Australians gamble weekly, although men in the country gamble significantly more than women. New South Wales is by far the most involved Australian region in gambling, hosting over 87,000 electronic gambling machines. It also has a long history in horse racing, having hosted the country's first horse race in 1810 in Sydney. Around 80,000 to 160,000 adults in the country experience significant gambling problems, making it a public health issue. United Kingdom. The United Kingdom ranks as the fifth largest gambling country in the world, hauling in a total gambling gross loss of $18 billion. Remote and online betting are the largest part of the United Kingdom's gambling sector, representing about 52.3%. The country's gambling industry particularly boomed following the COVID-19 pandemic, with online gambling numbers sharply rising. In 2024, online gambling is projected to reach a revenue of $16.39 billion and is expected to experience an annual growth of 4.05% from 2024 through 2028. Large casinos such as Aspers Casino, Manchester 235, and Valento Casino also represent large shares in the gambling industry. Canada. Canada possesses a gambling gross loss of $12.4 billion, making it the seventh largest gambling country. Gambling is legal throughout the country only in licensed facilities. Around 2/3 of Canadians report gambling annually, with men more likely to gamble than women. While there are casinos throughout Canada's 10 provinces, the lottery is the country's largest source of gambling, with 65% of Canadian gamblers participating in the lottery. Online gambling is also quickly growing across the country. Between 2024 and 2029, the online gambling industry is projected to grow by 6.39%. Germany, with a total gambling gross loss of around $11.2 billion, sits as the world's seventh biggest gambling country. Slot machines in restaurants and arcades, representing 36% of the gambling market, and state lotteries, representing 30%, are among the most common forms of gambling in the country. Live sports betting is also on the rise, with many betting adverts shown on TV during live football matches. Around 1.3 million German adults have some form of gambling disorder, while an additional 3.3 million show early signs of a gambling addiction. France, with a total gambling gross loss of $10.4 billion, has a long history in the industry and has contributed significantly to the development of various forms of gambling. French mathematician Blaise Pascal invented the roulette wheel in the 17th century, while pool betting, introduced around 1870, also originated in France. Nearly half of all people in France participate in gambling annually. Gambling has also increased since France made online gambling legal in 2010. High-profile horse racing events, such as those at Chantilly, draw substantial betting activity. Spain. Gambling culture is deeply rooted in Spain, with over 8 out of 10 Spaniards participating in gambling activities in 2022. However, despite this widespread engagement, most Spaniards tend to favor low-risk forms of gambling. As a result, Spain ranks 10th in global gambling standings, as opposed to ranking higher. One of the most common forms of gambling in the country is participation in the national lotteries. Participation in casinos, sports betting, bingo, and game halls is much lower, at only around 17.9% of the population. Alejandro Landalus, the general director of Sujuego, an association representing private Spanish gambling organizations, noted that many people view gambling as just another form of leisure. Gambling is a massive industry that varies greatly across different countries, shaped by unique laws and traditions. However, it's essential to remember that gambling should always be enjoyed responsibly. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, leave a comment, and give this video a thumbs up for more content like this. See you in the next video.